How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So my first question, straight to it, is what makes you tick? At these times when you read a screenplay, what makes you say yes? In this case, what made you say yes?
Well, a couple of things. First and foremost, my dear friend Michelle McLaren, who she and I have known each other for like 26 years, and we've always wanted to work with each other, and we've never had the opportunity. She was off shooting shows like Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones, and I was doing The Shield and other shows. So we were always very busy, and we never had the chance to work together. And she called me about 2 years ago and said, "Michael, I have it. I have what we're going to work together on." And it was this. And then the subject matter obviously was like, wow, okay, we're going to walk right into the fire here. And that excited me because, a lot of people have been trying to do shows about the border, some successfully, some not so much. And I liked the way in with this one. That this is a fascinating character to me. That because I don't know, maybe it's my Greek heritage. It's an odyssey, right? And the idea of a guy, literally and figuratively, having to walk 100 miles in another person's shoes, not just a mile. It's a lot of, and I love this notion of this collision of cultures and all the different thematic nuances therein, right? I mean, I live right now in a time in the United States and all over the world, but particularly in my country, unfortunately, where the political nuance has been taken out. I mean, people are either for something or they're against something, and it's very polarized, right? And one of the lovely things about being a storyteller is that you can delve deeply into the nuances of any given subject. I mean, it's absurd that the notion that people are pro-immigrant or against immigration or this or that. There's so much inside of that that we have to look at. And I love that it's not political, that we take this very political hot topic and we reduce it to the human, uh, uh, the human quality of it, that it's about people. It's not about politics.
I love the sense of humor in the show. It's kind of surprising, but it works.
Well, Michelle and I don't want to take ourselves too seriously ever, but also, again, you can find humor in the darkest situation,
Of
and
course.
that's important too. And it also allows for, what you build up stress and tension in during the course of a story, and then you need some relief, and it's just, a laugh sometimes can be incredibly welcome in the middle of a very
Of
stressful
course.
story. So,
The other day I saw the first two episodes of Coyote,
uh-huh.
but also I re-saw the first episode of The Shield,
Mhm.
and I thought it would be very difficult to have a show like Coyote without The Shield, because The Shield opened the door to all sorts of shows that
Thank you.
were impossible to see and to do at that time.
Thank you. Well, yeah, I mean, but yet they're very, very different. What I love is that this is sort of on brand for me in
Of
that
course.
the similar nuanced storytelling, but still hard hitting and impactful.
Yes.
Uh, but what I love is that Ben Clemens and Vic Mackey are incredibly different people,
Yes.
very, very different. Vic Mackey, is the sociopathic antihero. He does what he needs to do for him first, and he justifies it in
Yes.
myriad ways. Ben Clemens isn't an anti-hero, and he's not a hero either. He's a man. He's a guy, and he's forced to look at things through a different prism. And that was fascinating to me, a guy like him, you know, a reverse immigration story, if you will.
So, Mike, let me ask you something. How do you survive to a character like Big Mackey, which is,
Uh,
probably one of the best characters ever in one of the best shows ever. You know, it's difficult to survive something like that, you know, the shadow of it, I mean.
Well, you know, I've been there before. Before playing Vic Mackey, I was famous for playing an affable, lovely guy on the commish, you
Of
know,
course, yes.
sweet. And when people who the people who were casting the Shield looked at me and were like, you know, heard my name for it. Like, no, that guy,
No.
sweet, he's lovely, he can't do it. So really, it's about being the best actor that you can be and being the best storyteller that you can be. And the fact of the matter is, I'm not afraid of that because not just confidence in myself, but I know that 1 minute into Coyote, people will just forget about that and start to watch the show and get immersed in it, and they'll forget about Vic Mackey, at least while they're watching the show, you know?
So, Michael, you know, you've been in the industry for more than 30 years. My numbers are correct. What's
35 almost.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So what's the secret to, you know, to keep going? Is there one?
There's a number of them, but not the least of which is, again, great storytelling. It starts on the page. I'm always looking for the right script, but remember, there's, you know, there's extenuating circumstances. You know, I have children. I have a wife. You have to pay the bills. My kids went to college. You know, sometimes you're forced to do things for economics. You know, and you try to balance these things where you do some things because you're passionate, you're excited. You know, like the Shield was just everything that you would want in a job. You know, because it was critically excellent, great people, familial situation. Just it checked every box.
Best ever.
Just checked every box. And then, you know, some things you do because, you know, you get that check and you go like, yeah, you know,
I have to pay that.
I can pay for my daughter's home. You know, but hopefully that's what Coyote is again, that it's checking all those boxes. It's an incredible gift to be able to go to, you know, to go where this kind of thing happens. We went and shot this in Mexico at the border. I mean, it's incredible that we had 4 days that we locked up the Mexican-American border, and in 2020 they allowed this to happen. It's extraordinary. And that we got to work with the kind of people, and that there's that continuing. I hope we get to continue with this because there's so much more that we want to do, and Shield fans are going to love this show. I promise you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Michael.
Gracias.
Thank you. Bye. Gracias. Bye.
Bye.